It's not just about the success. It's about it's about quality of life and the memories. That's so important.
Yep.
Being an active mom is really important to me.
Yep.
So I will tell my clients, I'm at sing song for my daughter's preschool, or I'm always room mom for all my kids' class, and my kids
Yep.
are at 3 different schools.
Yep.
So it's a busy
How about
one.
that?
Yeah.
How about that? Yeah.
And so, but I want them to see my mom has made me a priority just as much as my brother,
Yep.
just as much as my sister.
Mhm.
And, I go to every game, and that is really important to me.
Mhm.
And so I just am honest.
Well, and what you do, and I think that's a good opportunity for us to talk about the commitment that you and Ryan made, the financial commitment. Y'all were in a great area of town on your home on Finley. You've been there for a while, but you knew that y'all wanted to be in the Eanes School District.
Yeah.
You knew where you wanted to be, and you knew the financial commitment and the efforts it was going to take to try to find that home. And I remember we knew the area of town you wanted to be. You wanted to be in Lost Creek. You
Yeah.
wanted to be in Eanes. And it was hard as heck to get a house. I remember when you're like, hey, Steve, this one, and the price points just kept going up. It was during that time.
Multiple offers, cash.
Yes. And we're
That is-
competing against those, right? And so talk a little bit about how important that was for you to get your kids into the area of town that you knew that they could excel.
So community is really important to us.
Mhm.
We wanted our kids to grow up where they could ride their bikes, go to a neighbor's house, all those things.
Leave the bike in the yard.
Leave the bike in the yard. Not concerned about, certain things
Yep.
happening, and what that happened in an urban area.
Mhm.
And Eanes was just also the schools.
Yep.
You get the benefit of like private with, your public school.
Yep.
Community is really important there. And that is something that is, important to us. We're Christian. And so that's really important that we were surrounded by like-minded people.
Yep.
And for us, Eanes offered that. And the community
that was a huge
alone.
commitment for you to make that choice.
Oh, it was huge.
People need to understand what it takes from a financial commitment.
Yeah. And from a personal, I
Yeah.
mean, do we, what do we want? Where do we want to be? How long, when is that? And our kids were getting older. The boys, were starting, and we wanted them to put down roots, and we wanted to build that community, and them know if my mom and dad are, if I need to talk to someone, I can go talk to this person or this person in my community. We have a son who has dyslexia. And so he's at a great school now that specializes in it, Ross and Saunders. They're fantastic.
They're amazing.
But that's not you go there to get remediated.
Right.
And Eanes offers a lot of accommodations. So when he is ready to not be there anymore, we have a great place for him to go because he's brilliantly smart, just learns in a different way, And so, and one of ours is super athletic. And, nowadays you hear about these schools who don't play any sports at recess.
Don't understand it, yeah.
I mean, and that was something that happened for us where we were before. One day, and Ryan's athletic, played sports his whole life. Came home and he said, hey, did you practice, football? And our son Witten said, no, they won't let me play football. They said it's too aggressive of a sport to play at recess.
At recess, yeah.
And we're sitting there going, what is happening? And that's the world we're in right now. And I won't get into politics about all of that, but
that's on another show.
Yeah, that's another show. We have a lot of other shows.
Yeah, we do.
And so when that happened, we thought, you know what? We need to go somewhere where people are like us and who are like-minded like us. I'm not saying anything. It's what works for our family.
Yeah.
I have no judgment on anyone else. If that's what works for your family, fantastic.
Right.
Because not everyone is sports or, whatever your interests are. They all are different and every family's different. And I respect that. And so, but I think for us, it was, we needed to make a move. What was the financial, part of that? And then what could we do to make our family to get them where they needed to be and to be happy? And we were very happy where we were. I mean, we were there for years. And but we moved and our kids are thriving. They're so happy. They have, we've been so welcomed into this fantastic community of support and love and fun. And, and so for us, it's just, we are like, why did we wait so long, And I know I've told you that, but that's also back, goes back to my clients. I try to
exactly
where
you understand what they're going through.
Yes. So you want to be, I tell them, and Tammy Cohen, who has always been a mentor and she's, like a sister to me. She always said, and this is something she taught me from day one, find the area. She tells her clients this every day. Find the area. When you find the area, we'll find you a house. Don't fall in love with the house because you fall in love with the house, it might not be the area or the community you want to be a big part of. And so, and it's true. And I took her line. I tell her that all the time. I took your line, but it's true. It's the best way to explain it to someone. You find your area, we'll find you a house. And that's what happened for us. And I'm so thankful for that because it, I was able to find something off market and, and get into a great area that we are so happy at and our kids are so happy. And it's also given them a lot of independence too. And that's something that's always been important to me because my dad always gave me a lot of independence. You can do it. You don't need, my help or you can lean on me, but I'm not going to do it for you, and I think that that's a reason why I'm a doer and not a sit on my hands and wait and see what happens. I'm just not a wait and see kind of person.
Well, you're not a wait and see kind of person. And I've known that from day
one.
You kidding me? But, with now that you're in that part of the community, you're building new relationships. Well, let's call it what it is. We're in the sales industry, real estate sales industry for you. And the area of town where you are, there's an extra comma there.
Yeah.
But the relationships that you're building there are through your children. Now, a lot of them, you're talking about the school, you're talking about the area, the kids, you're meeting new parents, new families, probably daily.
Yeah.
Right.
I think I have fantastic friends and I count my blessings every day, for that. My friends, I could not do life without them. And I have old friends. I have new friends. My kids are meeting new people all the time.
Every day.
Yeah. A great example is my son, Witten, he's just gotten to the age in baseball where they had to do tryouts and then draft.
Yeah, they're doing draft for
which
8, 9-year-olds.
It's wild to me. And but it's a great learning experience because, and Ryan said this, he said, some of my best friends were people I played ball with. And yes, we didn't see each other on a daily, during season you did because of practice and games. But he said, those are the people I didn't go to summer camp because I was training. I didn't go on spring break because we usually had ball, tournaments and things like that. So I think, and Witten, is on a team where he didn't know anyone. Yep. And now he's already met and he went in with this positive, Mom, I'm going to make new friends. And then I'll, know more people in our area because they're all in the Eanes, for the most part. Some are central, but for the most part, most of us are, over in Westlake. And so I think that is such a testament to we're meeting people all the time. And now I've gotten to know some of those people I wouldn't have known any other way because they're at different schools or we would have met like in middle school, when our kids are together. And so it's been so wonderful. I've also made some dear girlfriends of mine now are moms of my kids, friends. And I think that I'm so thankful that they've come into my life. And I feel like, God has blessed me with that and made sure that I am, meeting these people, and they have been put into my life for a reason. And they've been great influences on my kids. We have fun together, and
ultimately you end up, as you build those relationships and you stack those bricks, the opportunity for, hey, let's talk about your house.
That's exactly. I've had probably of some of these newer friends, I've now had maybe 10 of them, 8 of them reach out to me. Hey, I want an investment property, because I do, yes, we specialize at God Has Been in luxury, but I also do leases, and that's my bread and butter. I mean, and I feel like those are, people buy an investment property and they need to lease it out. So we do that. And then, or I do, like a condo that's $500,000, all the way up to the high end, and so I always tell people I don't just do this. I do all of it,
because the one that's buying the $500,000 home, it might be the kids of
exactly.
right? And then they're going to grow into the $1 million and $2 million home. I mean, how many of those clients have we seen over the years? They're like, hey, I ended up helping so-and-so, and now they're buying a $5 million house.
I mean, leases for college students that turn into, hey, I got my first job, got this paycheck.
I don't want to leave Austin.
Yeah, I don't want to leave Austin. Can you buy me a place? I'm like, let's go to Kyle.
Right.
No, I'm just kidding. And but then they feel confident, and she's not going to steer me. And they know this is not the one for you,
Or maybe it's not the right time.
It's not the right time. Yes. Yes. And so I think that, building these relationships and meeting these new people, and it's as a mom. And some of my girlfriends will joke. They're like, I swear your Suburban pulling in and out of your driveway nonstop.
How many times a day?
Yeah.
Right?
And I said, they're like, what hat are you wearing today? And I'm like, agent, bus driver, and so, but I love it, and I wouldn't trade it for anything else, because I feel like that's what fills my cup, and that's what, and then also being a good wife, to Ryan and supporting him in his adventures.
So many families have a challenging time when they have twins, because it's like it is an exponential level of effort that's required. Yeah. You're playing zone at all times, and especially with 3, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They say with 2, you can tag team. With 3, you've got to go, or more, you got to go zone.
Yeah,
right?
It is. It really is. And, for a long time, yes, it was stressful. You asked about that, and it was stressful because it's a lot to manage. And, you have a kid screaming and you're trying to negotiate an amendment in an option period that's up at 5 p.m., and that's just life, but I'm always honest. And I think that has been a part of my success is that I'm just honest. Yeah. Hey, I'm here. And I think my clients have respect for that because
they do.
Yeah. Like spring break. Yeah. They've been in the same boat. Spring break, people are like, oh, we're going, skiing or the Bahamas or whatever. And that's our busy season. Spring is historically the busiest. And so, yes, do I take time and do something fun with my family? Absolutely. But I'm also working, and then we do a trip later, we kind of will do it off of what it is. And so, and I'm okay with that. My kids are okay with that. They know, and summer is a little bit slower. So, hey, we'll go and do, an extra trip here or there or something like that. So I think it's just a balance and understanding that balance. It's when someone doesn't understand that someone who may be thinking about getting into the business, if you can't balance, you're never going to, you just won't take off. You're just not going to. You're not going to be able to do it because...
Well, and I think, Jessica, I recognize that the difficulty that we all have with balance, but one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on the show, one of the many reasons, is that you champion that challenge, right? You accept it, you embrace it, whether it's trying to be a great mom, a great realtor, a great wife. That is not an easy task.
Wow, thank
you. And a working woman, and I think that those friends of ours that are either in real estate that are maybe challenged with maybe some of the things that you have overcome, this can be inspiration for them.
I hope so.
Yeah.
And I always say, give my number to someone. If someone's calling me and my friend's talking about it, have them call me. I will be very open with them.
Yeah.
Yes, it is a fun, great career, but it is also one of the hardest things I've ever done. And, there are some not so pretty parts of it. I mean, I have cleaned up, houses. We always joke about bringing our toolbox. I mean, but I really do have a toolbox, and things like that. I mean, one time I was fishing fish out of a pond that was supposed to be removed. It was like an above ground pond. This was back in the day, Tammy and I, pouring down rain. And I'm in the pond.
Okay.
With rain boots on, pouring, rain jacket, scooping fish out, lugging them to the neighbor's house because the neighbor said, I'll take them, and
this was on a sale.
Because the seller didn't do what they were supposed to do.
Right.
So instead of saying, well, we'll delay closing, it was Tammy and I were in the throes.
I need to see a picture of that.
Fell in the mud. It was a disaster. But we got it done.
Got it done.
Everyone was happy.
Yeah.
And no one knew about all that except for us.
Until now.
Yeah.
Until now.
Yeah,
that's when you're
we always
literally
say we could, write a book on the funny stories, the things that we've dealt with.